And now, everyone, it is time that we will go and conclude this episode off with the grand finale. And for this grand finale, well, we are about to get into not one, but a whole bunch of major announcements, especially with what has been revealed this Friday. So, by the way, Antic, I just want to go and ask you, are you a bit of a gamer?
Yes, you can say so. I'm not a massive gamer, but I do play games, and I'm also a massive Nintendo fan. I played a lot of Nintendo games as a kid, and I still have a Switch, and I go onto it and play it every once in a while. So yeah, I do keep up with Nintendo news and also directs and seeing what gets announced and whatnot.
All right. Well, since you are already ahead of that, why don't we go and immediately get into one of the biggest news that happened last week, which is the Nintendo Direct. Yes, Nintendo put out one of their big directs, and this is debatably one of the biggest ones that they have put out in a long time, with over an hour's worth of big announcements with what they have in store, not just for the rest of this year, but especially with what's going to be coming up in the spring of 2026. Now, I'm going to do something a little bit different where instead of doing this massive lightning round of looking into every single announcement that has been made, me and Antic are going to talk about our personal highlights of what we have seen in the Direct. But first and foremost, one thing that I want to go and immediately get out of the way is probably the biggest news that they have discussed about in the Nintendo Direct, which is all about Mario's 40th anniversary. And man, did they reveal a whole bunch of stuff that's going to be coming that is related to Mario. Of course, a lot of the news, they did say that they were going to do some exclusive things in Japan, including some updates for the Nintendo Museum in Kyoto, as well as participating in Kyoto's big marathon in the beginning of 2026. But at the same time, they've also revealed some additional news with some Mario games, both old and new, along with some new products that are going to be coming out related to Mario. First and foremost, they did reveal there's going to be a Switch 2 edition of Super Mario Bros. Wonder, as well as an exclusive Switch 2 level called Meetup in Bellabelle Park. And on top of that, they even said that they're going to be coming out with a physical talking flower that you could go and buy. So you could get one of the talking flowers in Wonder, and he'll just have a chat with you. And then they've also revealed some new Switch 2 games that are going to be coming out, including Mario Tennis Fever and Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. And on top of that, they've also revealed some remakes that are going to be coming out on the original Switch, which is going to be Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 HD. And on top of that, not only will they be getting HD versions that are going to be coming out on the Switch, but also there will be some new stuff, which includes some new Amiibos, including Mario and Luma and Rosalina reading a book to the Lumas. And speaking of reading a book, Rosalina's storybook is going to physically be coming out as well. So if you want to read the story that Rosalina explains to the Lumas, then you can actually go and physically get it in the future. But what is possibly the biggest announcement of them all, probably the biggest announcement of the Nintendo Direct, is actually the sequel to the Super Mario Bros. Movie by Illumination, in which they didn't reveal too many new things about it, but they did confirm with a little teaser trailer the title, in which it is going to be called the Super Mario Galaxy Movie, which is still scheduled to be coming out on April 3rd of 2026. So already right here, Antic, what are your thoughts of these Mario announcements, especially with the Mario Galaxy Movie?
A lot of cool stuff getting revealed. I think obviously the big highlight was obviously the Super Mario Galaxy movie, because there's a lot of hype and a lot of massive potential for the sequel to the Super Mario Brothers movie. It was one of the biggest animated movies of 2023, and I even enjoyed it myself. Is it perfect? No, there is definitely flaws to it, but it was still a lot of fun. I do respect its faithfulness to the source material. I like that I like how colorful it was. It's very fun. And it feels like it was made by a team of people who were very enthusiastic about this source material. Where you compare that to other video game adaptations and they feel somewhat corporate and made by studio committees that don't really feel like they played the video game at all. And I am intrigued by the sequel for a big reason, which I heard rumors on what its title was going to be for a while. Like, there were reports that this was going to be called Super Mario World, which would have made sense because going from Super Mario Brothers movie to Super Mario World would make sense because World was the big leap from the Nintendo Entertainment System to the Super Nintendo, and that's when obviously Yoshi got introduced to the mix and it seemed like it would fit because at the end of the first movie there was a post-credit scene where there was a Yoshi egg that was in the sewer and it started to crack and you heard the little Takata voice of Yoshi like, and so I was expecting that. So for Illumination to go directly into Galaxy is a massive leap, and I was very surprised by it because Galaxy is like a massive game, and I really adore both of the games in the Wii. They were games that I played growing up, and there's a lot of like vast material with them going in outer space, and also the introduction of Rosalina and the Lumas, and like the vast colorful worlds and space and even some of the power-ups. So it is interesting to see that Illumination is going to dive headfirst from the original movie into the sequel, but I'm on board with it because there's a lot of potential with what you can do with it, and based on little glimpses that we saw in the teaser, it is interesting. Also, one of the things that is kind of funny was that the idea that this was going to be called the Galaxy movie might have been accidentally leaked because someone found Old Spice products that had Yoshi and Luigi on it, and it revealed the logo, and there was skepticism on if it was real. And then when the direct happened and it was revealed it was called the Galaxy movie, it was like, oh, yep, that's real. So that's probably going to be a sense on that's going to be in a sense we can definitely say that Yoshi is definitely going to be a part of this new movie, which I expect. I mean, again, there's that tease at the end of the first movie, and it is going to be interesting to see what they do with the sequel. One interesting thing I know that one of my friends pointed out is that when they re-announced many of the returning players, one thing they didn't announce was that Donkey Kong is not coming back with Seth Rogen, which is possible they're going to be saving him for a spin-off. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see what new characters they bring into this. Obviously, I would expect Rosalina to be a part of this since, it's Galaxy. Mm-hmm. And I am really excited for it, which is saying a lot because I can be very skeptical with Illumination sequels. Illumination definitely can struggle a bit with their sequels, and they've gotten a little bit too over-reliant on it. And I say this as someone that doesn't hate Illumination. I do think they get way too much criticism, but I do think that their over-reliance on sequels is a bit worrying. But this is definitely one of the few sequels they're making right now that I am actually genuinely looking forward to. And I do know this is probably going to be one of the biggest animated sequels next year. And that's saying a lot considering we're also getting Toy Story 5 in June.
Oh, yeah, that is true. I mean, like, for me personally, I gotta say that I definitely do agree with you that when it comes to the original Mario movie, it's not the best animated film that came out during that year, but it is clear that it is meant more to be a crowd pleaser. And I mean, as someone who's played Mario games all my life, like, I definitely had a lot of fun. Like, it's still very enjoyable as is. And for me personally, I would say that some of my favorite Mario games ever are the Mario Galaxy games. So when I heard that the sequel is going to be the Super Mario Galaxy movie, I was just absolutely hyped. I was just like, I saw the title reveal. I was like, oh my God, we're already here. There's going to be a Mario Galaxy movie. Holy crap. So already my hype was already up to the max. And I think that was like the most excited I ever got to an announcement on Nintendo Direct for like a long time. Like I don't think I was that hyped since I saw Sora coming to Smash Bros. Ultimate. But
Smash.
yeah, so yeah, already from there, I definitely am excited to see what's going to be in store with this. And considering that it is considering that the Old Spice leaks have confirmed to be true, it already seems like, I guess they're already going ahead with the modern game. So not only will this be based on like Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, especially with the second, now that Yoshi is going to be in play, but I did see, it looks like they're also going to be bringing in elements based on Mario Odyssey, which does make sense if you're going to be jumping from like different planets. So of course you're going to be introducing some of those characters there. So already I got to say, yeah, Mario Galaxy is already up there among my most anticipated movies of next year. Now, do I think it's going to be one of the best animated movies of next year? I don't think so, but it's more like I'm just anticipating and I'm more excited for it as like a Mario fan, not necessarily as a major animation fan, but I'm hoping that I'll have a lot of fun seeing this.
Oh, same. Yeah, like I'm not looking into this thinking it's going to be like a critically acclaimed animated masterpiece. Is this going to go down as being one of the best animated movies of 26? Probably not. But I just want to see a fun movie out of this. I mean, that's when I went to see the first Mario movie, because I am a massive Mario fan. Like, what I want to see out of this is just a movie that's fun. And if it can get me that with this sequel, then I am very excited for it. I'm really looking forward to another fun time with this. And I'm very excited to see what Aaron Hovarth and Michael Jelenic have up their sleeves with this sequel.
Yeah, I'm definitely hyped up as well. But going back to the Nintendo Direct, what would you say is your biggest like other than the Mario Galaxy movie, what would you say were your personal highlights from this Nintendo Direct that we got?
Obviously, I'd probably say one of the biggest ones was the Galaxy re-releases, because I adore Galaxy just as much as you. I really, really love the two games on the Wii, and I've been desperate to replay Mario Galaxy 2 for a while. So when it was announced it was finally getting ported to the Switch, I was like, yes, 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 yes. Oh, yes, I'm so excited. And that definitely made my day when I found that out. Also, it was cool to see a new Yoshi game with Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. Obviously, there hasn't been an amazing Yoshi game that's come out since, obviously, the original Yoshi's Island, but I'm always down to see more Yoshi games, and I like to see something really cute and exciting. Also, there was some cool stuff with like DLC with Switch 2, which I still haven't gotten to Switch 2 yet, but there was some stuff that does seem intriguing, like Donkey Kong Bonanza, and also the new port of Super Mario World, the new Super
Wonder?
Mario game, Super Mario Wonder. Thank you. Yeah, and also the release finally for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, which was a game that people have been waiting for eons, because that game was in development hell ever since it got scrapped and restarted by Retro Studios, and now it's finally here, so we can get to see what it's like. Though I think the biggest thing that got me surprised, and this isn't a thing I'm excited for, it was just something that I was like very, very baffled by, because it was one of Nintendo's biggest failures. Somehow Virtual Boy returned.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was confused by that with the way they're framing it as hyped, but not to mention, like, on top of the fact that they're bringing, okay, it's one thing to go and make a, you're going to bring this up to the virtual console. Okay, fine. But then they also announced like not extensions, but new accessories that you could fully play it like an actual Virtual Boy, where you could actually buy like an enhanced version of the binoculars that you could go and play, that now you could go and play it like it was intended to, but you have to go and pay like an extra $100 for it, or you could just get a cardboard version for like $25, which is honestly so weird, because in my mind I was thinking, it's like, didn't it fail the first time? Why are you trying to bring that back out of all things?
Yeah. Yeah, and it just confuses me even more because not just because it was a massive failure, it was just I can't imagine if there's a lot of nostalgia for this product because it didn't really have a whole lot of games that stood out that I can think of. Like I guess there was that Mario Tennis game, but like the games were all like the games were all in like red, and also they just didn't seem that revolutionary. And not just that, like you compare that to other Nintendo consoles, like even the ones that didn't exactly make a massive splash at the time, like the Wii U or the GameCube, those at least had games to back it up. Like at the very least, many of the games that debuted on the Wii U got eventual re-releases onto the Switch to finally get the second life that they deserved. Or you also have the GameCube, which is very much a nostalgic product, and there's a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of amazing franchises that launched on it, like Luigi's Mansion, or the biggest of the bunch, Animal Crossing.
or even Pikmin. Yeah.
So, and Pikmin, yeah. And so Virtual Boy getting a, new Nintendo Switch Online collection in the same way that the NES, the SNES, the N64, the GameCube, and the Game Boy did, it was confusing to me and really head scratching because I was like, one, it seems weird Nintendo is acknowledging one of its biggest failures, if not its biggest in the video game market, because this thing failed worse than the Wii U. And two, I don't know what nostalgia is there for this because there's not many games that was released on this thing, and more importantly, I don't even know if there were a lot of games that people are going to be nostalgic to play for because I'm not entirely sure if there's a lot of nostalgia for these games. I'll give them credit for acknowledging their failure and getting people the chance to play these games for the first time to see why it didn't work out, but still it was just very baffling because I was like, Virtual Boy being announced to get a Nintendo Classic re-release was like completely out of left field because it was just so random. Because again, I can't imagine people being nostalgic for this.
Not to mention the literal headaches that it caused. I mean, like if you're like, that's one of the big reasons why the Virtual Boy failed is because like the longer you play it, the more it's going to give you a bit of a headache. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like you might as well be playing David Ellison the game with that thing. You come out of it and you're just there like, oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and especially with the fact that like they're also bringing back, like I said, like they're bringing back the actual virtual console like stand where you can actually play it like the virtual console games. So it's like, are you recreating the problems that come with it? Like, why?
yeah, like I don't get it. I just don't get it. I mean, I give them credit for doing something unique, but it just feels It just feels a little strange. Like even as far as 3D Nintendo consoles go, I would have picked the 3DS to port over the Virtual Boy because the 3DS had amazing games. I mean, the 3DS
yeah.
had Mario 3D Land, and that had that like reinvented like the 3D platformer, and then there was also other games on there as well, like Mario Kart 7 and some of the Zelda ports
Yeah.
and even Zelda platformer. Like,
And even bringing Pokemon into 3D with Pokemon X and Y and Sun and
yeah,
Moon.
Pokemon being put into 3D. Also, even Animal Crossing New Leaf, which became one of the biggest Animal Crossing games. Like, that's where Isabelle popped up from. So it seemed really strange to do a Virtual Boy port over like a DS port or a 3DS port or even like another Game Boy thing, like with the Game Boy Color or the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, that one I gotta say, out of all the announcements, that one came out as like the weirdest. That, and also for me, another one that I find to be very weird is actually the new Pokemon game that they revealed, Pokemon Pokopia, or Pokopia, or something like that. Like, I'm a big Pokemon fan, but I look at this game and it's like, okay, so you're making a bit of an Animal Crossing version. You're making a Pokemon version of Animal Crossing, but I just do not like the main character where you play as this Ditto that's trying to be a human. And at the same time, the more you talk to other Pokemon, the more like you learn their abilities. And then suddenly like you can transform your arms into like, some of the different things that the Pokemon can do. Like in the example that they presented in the trailer, it's like you see this human Ditto talking to a Bulbasaur, and then suddenly his hands grow into vines and then gain that special ability. Or like you talk to a Scyther, and then your hands become scythes and you could chop down wood. It's just, I look at that and it's just, it's all around weird. Like I know the Detective Pikachu movie did confirm it, but it's weird now the games have confirmed that Ditto can transform into humans. And honestly, that whole thing just makes me feel a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, that was weird. Like it's interesting to see Pokemon go in a life simulator, because again, I'm a massive Animal Crossing fan. And it is interesting to see Pokemon doing something like that, but just seeing that Ditto turn into a human and that weird design and just the way that it presents itself, it's bizarre. Like I'm not entirely sure what it's aiming for, but it's interesting. Oh my gosh, someone in the chat called this thing a kid-friendly version of John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yes,
Oh
that's what it is. That's literally what it is. It's the freaking, you're playing a kid-friendly version of The Thing.
Oh my gosh. You're not wrong.
Oh
you're
yeah.
not wrong.
But I will say though, other than that, I do have some personal highlights in this direct. Like there's a lot that I'm hyped up for. Of course, like some of the Mario announcements, like especially with the Mario Galaxy movie. And then there's also the Amiibos, which I will say I am a huge Amiibo collector. I've spent so much on Amiibos. In fact, like even in my trip to Japan, I bought so many of them also. In fact, I just want to go and actually, let's see if I could go and show you actually. If I can go and, yeah, so I just want to go and if you can actually see, hold on, where can I go to actually show you? If you could see like right behind me, I have my Amiibo collection right over here, which takes like three different shelves on my bookshelf. So yeah, like I am a huge collector. So I am definitely excited for some of the Amiibos that they announced, like especially the Mario and Rosalina one, and especially the new Kirby ones that they have announced for Kirby Air Riders, that not only do you get like just new Amiibos, but also that they could be interchangeable with the different carts or the different stars that are in there. So I'm definitely excited for those, and I'm for sure going to be getting all of them. Like that's something like I'm not just going to go and get, I'm going to like immediately pre-order. But other than that, I'm also excited for Pokemon Legends ZA, in which they did announce like more new Mega Evolutions, especially with the Gen 6 starters and the new DLC, which will feature 2 new Raichu Mega Evolutions. So that's something I'm definitely going to be looking out for. Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, I'm going to wait. I'll wait and see with how the reviews are going to be. If they're like really high praise like we've just seen with Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza, then I'll definitely be checking that out. And also, I did get excited when I heard some of the Resident Evil games are going to be coming to the Switch, and I believe on the Switch 2 as well, or they'll be coming out on the Switch 2, and I think on the Switch as well, especially Resident Evil Village, so I'm going to be down for that. And I think other than that, like, there are some things, like, for me personally, I'm not, like, major hyped up for, like, with Metroid Prime 4 or Fire Emblem's Fortune's Weave or Hades 2, but I can understand why people are excited for it. But overall, though, I gotta say, this is probably one of the best Nintendo Directs that we've had in a long time, with so many great announcements, so many things to get hyped up for. And already, like, some of these big reveals, like, they've already gotten me excited and have given me a bunch of things to be looking forward to, not just for the rest of the year, but also for what's going to be coming out in for 2026.
Hmm.
Yeah. So with that said, though, let's now go onto the chat wall, and I'd like to ask you all, what are your personal major highlights from this Nintendo Direct? Which ones are you the most hyped up for? Which ones weirded you out the most? Let me know what you all think on these. All right, so let's see now. All right, Crimson here. Super Mario Galaxy is one of my favorite video games of all time, so this is kind of a big deal for me personally. At first, I was hesitant on the Galaxy adaptation of the film, but the more I think of it, out of all the Mario games, Super Mario Galaxy has the most emotional, story-driven Mario games out there. There is a lot of potential to bring Rosalina's backstory to the big screen, and it deserves to be handled with so much justice and respect. Really great stuff. I think there's more comment, but probably Crimson, you'd have to make a part 2 on that. Anyways, let's see. I am shocked as much as you are. The fact that they are skipping ahead and go straight on to Mario Galaxy is just unbelievable, and excited to see. But there are 2 questions. Since the Nintendo is bringing up 2 Mario Galaxy games to Switch, is this actually some kind of promotion to the movie? And 2, now when we reveal the title and the movie, is it about time that Illumination will take a risk instead of doing what they usually do? I don't know about the risk thing, but considering with all the Mario Galaxy stuff that's being revealed, like, there might be a bit of a tie-in, especially with the fact that the Amiibos are going to be coming out around the same time as the movie, I believe, and on April 2026. Let's see. If I had to name my highlights of this Direct, it would have to be the Tomodachi Life parts and then no other parts, just Tomodachi Life. But all jokes aside, the Mario Galaxy movie sounds amazing, especially since Galaxy is my favorite Mario game. The new Yoshi game looks adorable. The Virtual Boy announcement completely threw me for a loop. And the DK Bonanza DLC is pretty nice. Overall, a solid Direct, especially of all that sweet, sweet Tomodachi Life news. Oh, I know what you're going to be doing in the spring of 2026 then. Okay. Finally, Nintendo celebrates Mario's 40th anniversary. This Nintendo Direct was so exciting. The best part was the Mario's 40th anniversary stuff, except for the Virtual Boy that's so random, like Mario Tennis Fever, Super Mario Wonder, the Mario Galaxy movie, and my biggest highlight, the Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 re-releases. I can't wait to get this game on Christmas. Dude, it's just amazing. Sadly, no 3D Mario game, but let's see in the future. Also, I wonder how they... Oh, and the comment just stopped. Okay. I think I'll read one more comment because we don't have much time left.
I did see Crimson put his part 2. He said, that being said, if Rihanna gets casted as Rosalina, then I will take a very cold shower.
Oh no. No, Rihanna, please. We already got enough of her as Smurfette. We don't need her as Rose. No, we don't want her. No, please do not ruin Rosalina. I mean, she's a waifu to many, so that's a role you got to handle with care.
Yeah, please do not put Rihanna. Don't put Rihanna in anything, especially after Smurfs. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. All right, this was definitely one of the best Nintendo Directs in a while. For me, my biggest highlights was definitely the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Galaxy is one of my favorite Mario games, and I could see how they could expand what they did with the first movie, and I'm glad Yoshi is making his debut. However, I'm wondering who's going to voice Rosalina. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see, but I'm sure it won't be too long until we know what the true answer is.